what he said?
Yeah, we got some new tables, so.
Yeah. 6:40, March 11th. We'll open the workshop. Paperwork out here.
David, did you see all the new stuff we got tonight?
No. I was in. Did, okay, so I guess we'll start off with the bylaws. Everybody's got a copy in front of them, I assume. Have you had a chance to? The other one, okay. We can't do anything about them tonight anyway, because I think what do you need, 7 days has to be, that what you have here down, there has to be a 7-day interim before we can vote on it anyway, so. 7 days, vote members present at any regular meeting of the board provided written copies of the bylaws or amendments were given to the members at least 7 days prior to the meeting, so we probably can't vote on these bylaws until next meeting anyway, if they in fact are acceptable to the board.
The other stuff that's highlighted is the stuff we're going to change, right?
Yeah, so if we want to all just, read through that and make sure that all of the corrections that were requested are made.
Do you remember the number? Yep. Okay, I'll do my homework.
Yes, that's what I love. Yep. Make sure it's part that has money on it too. So,
happened?
On the, on G, on page 3,
Page 3?
we're talking about conflict of interest / bias.
Yeah.
But over on page 5,
Page 5.
and it goes over to page 6, it doesn't have the / bias.
I'll catch up with these two.
What paragraph you want?
Okay,
On page 5.
on page 5, C, I'm sorry.
See. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But the one that's talking about.
So you want us to say
Let's go.
possible conflict / bias. Okay. Yep.
I would say you want to put unnecessarily lock the 6 PM Tuesday and on the,
What was that, Paul?
I said, do we want to lock in a permanent time? Tuesday the 6th, it would take a change in the bylaws to change it. Might want to say that a time and day of the week agreeable, which
Okay.
is fine, but if you ever got a situation where you want to change it, this seems to be saying you gotta have it on a Tuesday at 6 or don't have it.
What are you reading?
Article 2, meetings A.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, the chance for the
But it says meetings may be rescheduled.
Yeah.
Holiday or
Unless
something.
otherwise posted, something
Well, I
like
just
that.
wanted to, if you wanted to put Tuesday at 6 as a permanent thing, I just wanted to leave some general language that will allow us some flexibility to change, that's all.
So do you,
That's just what I noticed reading through it.
so do you want to make a change to it, or?
I'm just noting that to the board, and I looked at it and said, geez, here's a thought here.
Yeah, it makes sense, Paul. It makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes just put regular scheduled meeting rather than the exact time.
The day, but not the time.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, you can say the second Tuesday, but then you can, that way you have flexibility with the time. A regular scheduled meeting on the second Tuesday.
And we could say at the end of that sentence, we could say unless otherwise.
It's your bylaws.
Posted. Yeah.
So cross out the 6 p.m.
You want some flexibility if
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Get that, Garrett, right?
Yep. So second Tuesday of the month. Get rid of the 6 PM.
The regular scheduled time.
Yeah, got it.
I mean, how many times should we write this? It's not.
Yeah. We're just trying to get to the point where we can get, because we have to have the corrected version in front of us, and then you have to wait 7 days before you can vote on it. According to the last page here, isn't that what I'm reading? Oh, not, excuse me, not the last page, the next last page.
Which section?
That's on page 7, Article 6, acceptance. Isn't that the way everybody reads that?
So you have 7 days to review.
Right. So do we want to, well, we can't do it right now anyway, we can do it at the meeting. Accept the changes.
We could all come up in the 7 days, we could then come up and sign it.
Stuff that.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Or you
ready
may
for the next
put it
meeting.
into, a discussion.
Right, at the regular meeting, having a discussion on other other business, new business or whatever, yeah. We can bring it up on a new business in our meeting.
We may have a second meeting.
Oh, good. Was it just the other day? Was it that?
No, we
one?
do, I was just wanna look at that one.
But we'd have to accept the changes tonight, right
I
now.
would just say you make friendly changes and accept it.
Yeah.
And then you could have it
Okay, but we have to do that at the regular meeting, not if it's budget.
you just come up and sign it?
Because it's all on the roof.
I suppose we all could, but if we're gonna have a second meeting anyway, why not? And David's not here, so,
The question is,
you know.
the second meeting, it's not a workshop, it's gonna be a regular meeting. It should, you can do it at that meeting. We decided to make the second meeting.
Oh, that's right, that was gonna be a workshop, yeah, okay.
But if you can make it, it may have to be a regular meeting,
Okay,
depending where we are with the ordinances.
yeah, right, I think it probably would, because
So I think you're okay to schedule it.
quorum thing,
Next meeting, sign.
yeah. All right, so do we want to determine that later, or do we want to make a
I would
decision?
just say you make the determination you're fine with friendly amendments,
Mhm.
and then we'll vote on it the next regular meeting.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah, it just doesn't have that many really. It's a meeting, right?
Well, it may be,
Maybe sooner.
Oh, we're gonna have a special next
Yes,
meeting.
yes, we may have another meeting between.
Okay,
Okay,
that's,
To approve the minutes, to approve.
no.
no.
Planning board.
No, this is just the bylaws.
Bylaws, you can have a special meeting to approve bylaws?
No,
We have another meeting, we'll get to it later.
yeah,
Hang on. We may have to have one for the ordinance.
all right, so you've got all those changes, Garrett?
Yep.
Okay. And we're all good with the changes at this point? So when our meeting starts, we'll approve the bylaws with changes. Take a vote on it. There you go. So the other thing is, it's the workshop, here is clarification. Do we have to vote as a board every time the board or the town planner makes a requirement of an applicant? How we come up with these requirements, so, we want to have them do this, that, or the other, or present this, that, or the other. Do we have to take a vote every time the suggestion is made to the applicant for information, additional information that we need?
The application is complete, or is that after?
No, that would just be additional information required. Do we have to vote as a board that we want to vote to require this additional information, or can it just be a suggestion from the board members? Do we have to take a formal vote on it every time we make one of those?
I think that if you make a motion, assume that when you're asking for additional information, you're probably tabling the application as well. So I think you would imply within that motion, tabled until you receive such additional information.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if we had to.
If it's in the beginning process, pre-application meeting.
not pre-application, but when you get a substantial review.
You should have all that information when you go into substantial review.
But it could be additional information needed,
Still require additional information.
right? You could require additional information.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question, we're talking about trying to simplify and make the process more simple,
Mhm.
complete but simpler,
Mhm.
okay? We should have 99% of our questions ready at the pre-application.
We should, but there seems to be certain circumstances lately that just require more information.
I would say at the point where you wanted to deem it complete, is where you should have 99%.
Right.
Okay. That's the pre-application. That's the pre-application, maybe.
You don't have an application in pre-application.
Right.
Oh, but I'm sorry, they're just describing it.
Right.
Okay.
That first substantial meeting you have, that's where we should have the majority of your comments.
Good question.
Right.
Because,
And then what happens is maybe they give you information which may open up question more things sometimes, or not, and you never know.
It's supposed to be the pre-application meeting, then the application
Right.
submission.
Okay,
So
and
the
if
application submission is actually after the pre-application
So
meeting.
that's when we should have
Right,
at least 90% of our
Right.
questions.
right, because then you move on to, vote to commence substantive review after that. So you have to have the information, or you should,
You should.
right? And then we decide whether or not we're gonna have a public hearing.
I want to bring up something, I want to quote you, Jim. This was back in December. That we keep going and asking questions and asking questions and that, okay?
Mhm.
And Jim writes down here that I feel at times the board is looking for the applicant's sins rather than assisting the project through the process. And I took that, not as a total negative, but what I call, and this is from personal experience, all right, when SK&K went in, because I was doing it myself. I got called on my carpet for it. Cherry picking the ordinances to only pull out those parts that will back what you want it to be.
Well, but I don't think we're actually doing that, Tim. I think we're trying to follow the ordinance, and it's just that sometimes there's information that, I don't know, maybe we didn't notice up front, and then it occurs that we need to ask this question.
Okay, let me explain what my situation was, okay? The lot behind me, you're looking at SK&K. I'm over here, and there was a lot, which I should have bought, and I didn't, all right? So they're going to put in 2 cabins on the lot, and I was living. Okay? And I tried to talk with the code enforcement officer, and I was going through those ordinances line for line. And was shown that I was cherry picking the ordinance.
Mhm.
Because
That's-
I
know that-
wanted
know
it
that's
to come
possible.
out the way I wanted it to come out.
Yeah, I know that's possible to do, sure.
And so I'm questioning sometimes if we are not cherry picking those ordinances to look for the sins of our applicants.
Well, if we are, we have the other board members to remind us, perhaps that's what we're going too far. Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that I don't want to bang heads in,
Right,
but I want us to be, like, the thing from the lawyer.
Yeah.
When he's talking about the 25-foot setback,
Mhm.
does not go to the appeals court.
no, I know.
But you kept saying that it did, and you pointed out how it could
Did you
be
notice,
interpreted.
did you notice the response from the lawyer that you could view it as that?
But I'm saying,
And that's, I wouldn't consider that cherry picking, I would just consider that, that the person asking that question is not a lawyer, and the reason they were asking the question is because they weren't sure that if that's what it was or not.
but they didn't want to understand that other members of the board were trying to say, it was saying, it doesn't go before the appeals thing. The thing is, you get locked in, it's called perseverance.
Well,
You perseverate, you get stuck on something, you can't get beyond it,
But you can't get beyond it if you don't know the answer, that's the problem.
but you can stop and say, let me listen to what my colleagues are saying, what they're trying to explain.
So that particular situation you're talking about, I think most of the people on this board were saying that was in the purview of the CEO, and as it turns out, it wasn't, it actually wasn't the purview of the planning board. So, and that's what I was saying from the beginning, that it was in the purview of the planning board because it came before the planning board. And as it turns out, that was correct.
And I'll draw the board's attention to the fact we're at 6.
Okay. Yep,
Take a little break.
yep. Close the workshops at 5:59. Okay, we'll call this planning board meeting to order, March 11th. It's 6:02 PM. We'll take a roll call. Paul White,
President,
Tina Vaness, Robert Lillidy?
Here.
David Welch? Here. David McCarthy is absent. We'll acknowledge the town staff present, Christina Robinson, Town CEO, Jim Seymour, Town Planner, and Gary Jones, Executive Secretary. This is a public proceeding, not a public hearing, and unless the planning board specifically votes to go into executive session, anyone here has the right to hear everything that is being said and to look at all of the exhibits and materials that are present. Please notify the chairperson if you are unable to see or hear. The board works from a published agenda and will be considering tonight's items in the following order. We've already taken roll call. We'll do correspondence, review of minutes, open to the public not related to an application, old business, which is the site plan application of Spear, and secondly, the site plan application of Sean Behen. Then we'll go on to new business, old business, proposed changes to zoning ordinance, and adjournment. All right. Correspondence, is there any correspondence?
So we have an email from Karen Mason, basically just saying that she's withdrawing her planning board application.
Okay.
Speak up, please.
We have an email from Karen Mason regarding that she's withdrawing her planning board application.
Is that for the barn?
I believe, let me see. Was it for the barn?
We accepted her withdrawal of her application. Right. Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure we did, yeah.
Was it Ms. Aronson? There's been a couple.
I don't think you made a motion yet to accept that, her application.
Oh, we didn't on Karen?
No.
Okay. All right, well, somebody like to make a motion then that we accept.
Make a
Karen?
motion, we accept Karen Mason's, her application for the barn.
Yeah, second? Second, all in favor? Unanimous? Any other correspondence? I would like to see the complete 4-page correspondence between the CEO and the town attorney as it pertains to 4G78 dated February 12th and February 26th, placed in the record. Just so it's there. And I'll make a motion to do that, which would be to, yeah. Second? Somebody make a motion, somebody make a motion.
Okay.
Correspondence from the attorney.
Like a second.
That would be, I would like the complete 4-page correspondence between the CEO and the town attorney as it pertains to 4G7A dated February 12th and February 26th, placed in the record. And I will make a motion to do that.
I'll second it.
Bob seconds. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, now we will go on to review of the minutes. Does anybody have any changes that they'd like to make to the, in the minutes? And that would be both the minutes, we'll do them one at a time, but it'll be for the minutes of the workshop and the minutes of the regular meeting on February 11th. Somebody like to make a motion to accept the minutes?
I have one change.
You have one change, okay.
On page 4.
Yep. Page 4.
Concrete plan, page 4.
Okay.
It says, concrete plant ordinance changes state that concrete plants and gravel pits would not be,
Yes,
Sebago.
yeah.
Not correct. Yeah.
Okay, concrete plants and asphalt
Yep. And paving plants.
and paving plants, okay.
That would be fine.
I'll
set with that?
You
Yep.
making a motion to
Sure.
make that change?
Yep, I'll make a motion that we make, that we change, on page 4 of the last minutes, concrete paving, the concrete plant ordinance changes to the state that concrete plants and gravel pits would not be allowed in Sebago. We're gonna change that to, concrete plants and paving plants would not be allowed in Sebago.
And I'll second that. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, now we go on to the minutes for the workshop. Any changes to those minutes? Does anybody want to make a motion?
No, no, I didn't. Okay.
I'm missing that, so
We're missing it?
it's somewhere
I will make a motion that we accept the minutes of February 11th for the workshop minutes.
I'll second that motion.
All in
I don't have
favor?
the workshop minutes.
You don't have the workshop minutes either?
No.
No? You should have been in your packet.
I'm looking for it, but I'm not finding it.
Huh? Do you wanna look at a copy?
Any board bylaws discussion narrative, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, it's right at the top, it's February 11th, 2025, planning board bylaws discussion narrative. Yeah.
That's it, that's it.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
it.
it, all right, I have that.
Okay,
We discussed that. No, I'm fine, go ahead.
fine. All in favor? Unanimous? All right. We will now open this part of the meeting to the public for any questions not related to an application. Please be advised that all individuals wishing to speak must first be recognized by the chair. All persons speaking are asked to stand and state your name and address. Anybody want to say anything from the audience? No? Okay, we will close that portion of the meeting. We move on to the Spear application, old business. Map 019, lot 032, 56 Sebago Road. Site plan application review submitted by Spear to create an accessory apartment within the footprint of the proposed dwelling unit. Is escrow been current? Is escrow current?
It is.
All fees have been paid and escrow was fine, okay. Great. Okay, we need to make a motion to take the Spear application off the table. It was tabled at the last meeting. We tabled it at the last meeting. We need to take it off the table. We need a motion to take it off the table.
make a motion to take the Spear application off the table.
Second? Seconded. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay. Any, okay, so let's bring forth a Spear application. In each instance, it is the burden of the applicant to demonstrate compliance with provisions of all applicable municipal ordinances and state law. Would the presenter please stand, give your full name, and state your affiliation with the application? Please remain standing while the board is invited to ask any questions or provide comments, concerns, or requests to the applicant or the applicant's representative, town staff, or fellow board members regarding the item being reviewed. In all cases, you must be recognized by the chair. Yes, sir.
Gibbons, Rich Domain, builder for the Spear project.
Does anybody have any questions of the applicant?
They were all answered, didn't they?
Excuse me?
I believe they were all answered, didn't they?
At
Well-
the meeting, it came down to a couple things.
Yeah.
Asking whether we're allowed to make this decision under the rules, and I guess the attorney has come back that we are. And I don't know if there was any specific documentation you wanted on that.
No, just, we want clarification of, the authority to allow the reduction to 25 feet. And we did receive, an email from Attorney Pringle, to Christina verifying that the board had the authority to do that.
Do we need to make a motion that we accept the reduction of setback from the applicant? Okay, does somebody want to make that motion? And do we need to have the actual dimensions in that motion?
It's on the plan.
I think it's on the, I don't
Okay.
have a copy, sorry, I don't have a copy of that plan with you right this second, but it's on the plan, I believe it's 47.5.
Okay,
So we're gonna accept their authority to adjust the setback to 25, which would allow this gentleman's project to go forward.
47.5.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and whatever-
Wherever it's got.
But as shown to us at the last meeting.
whatever's reflected on the plan, right?
Right.
What is it, 47.5?
We would have to pull that up one more time, but just to confirm the exact number, but I think we're pretty close at 47 foot 9 inch or 6 inch, but don't quote me for that exact number. It's in the packet, so.
CEO and Mr. Seymour agree that this meets all the requirements of our. Yes.
Okay, so did you make a motion, Paul?
No, I was just asking a question.
Okay,
Make a motion, Paul.
Turn into a motion, Paul.
yeah.
I'm going to make a motion that we accept this gentleman's project.
25 foot setback, right?
There you go. Make a motion to accept the 25 foot setback.
Second?
You second it?
Seconded? Yeah, no, you second, go ahead. You
Second it.
Yeah. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, I'd like to just read something. At the last planning board meeting on February 11th, 2025, you're required to produce some of the following information for this meeting. The list consists of elevations, proposed dwelling placement in relationship to the basement and garage floor elevation. No camper dumping connection into the septic system. Cancellation of the initial driveway permit application, verification of the septic capacity from the state. Do we have that information?
It's in the packet.
Yes.
And there's letters from.
The only one I'm not certain of is, did you provide us with an actual elevation?
It's on the plan.
Okay.
It's on the plan. And again, there was a little bit of question on that, just because, being it's a standard. Because if that was the case, we probably ought to run through all the standards of construction to be on a Mylar, which didn't make a whole lot of sense either.
No, the only question would be is make sure that any.
I understand.
Space, 1 foot above
And I get
flood
that.
space.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think the board was really looking for.
So,
But no responsible or respectable builder is gonna build a building that's below.
Well, there's a lot of people that could, but,
Yeah, exactly.
and we understand where that's coming
Yeah.
from. It could happen,
Yeah.
but that's just not. what
Typically,
is going to happen.
typically that's called a building permit application anyway.
I mean, it's stupid to do it.
There's a lot of things that are kind of wrong to do, but you get missed. So,
And you were going to check on the camper evidence that the camper dumping connection into the septic system is disconnected?
Yeah, so, again, there's a letter in there. Did you guys all get a chance to read that from the soils engineer?
Denmark?
Yes. Yep. On that, okay, so we're clearly far below the capacity of the septic system. Now, even with the camper connected to it, if you look at the flow,
It's not legal. Can't connect a camper to the septic system.
okay? All right, help me out on that side of it.
It's in the ordinance. You cannot connect it. Correct, Christina?
It's under the land use ordinance that we
Okay.
can't.
Okay, that we cannot.
Yeah.
Okay,
Has to be disconnected.
could I, let me ask you this. during construction, this would be the only thing that I would ask if it's an option. During construction, there's nothing connected to the septic system. Could the camper be connected to it? And then at occupancy, we disconnect it. It's a temporary use and the septic system's not being used. That's the only place where the gentleman can.
It does mention, I think it mentions in the ordinance about a porta potty, right? Being,
Well, yeah. What, a porta potty for the duration of the construction?
Yeah.
Which there would be for that, but it was just for the homeowner as he uses this, so he doesn't have to use it.
oh, are they staying there?
They would be.
Technically, it's not legal, but I don't know. That's up to you, I guess, Christina, isn't it?
It's independent of this application.
Right.
What he's doing is not allowed, there's an application, no.
Right.
So that motion should.
So that's up
Other
to
than to say
discussion between you and the CEO.
Okay, that's right, thank you.
It's important, what kind of a septic system does he have? There's something special about it.
It's just the capacity of the septic
You know,
system,
there's something special about it, the way it dumps.
the way it dumps. I mean, I can pull up that septic design. Does it, I mean, we have.
No, it's a standard system. It's a standard system.
It's a stone bed?
Yeah.
It's a stone bed, which what I would assume.
The system, I agree, but there's a way that the system works in the house. It's-
I won't need a pump, but I mean, listen, if it's a major issue while the septic system is not even connected to the home, to not have the camper connect to the septic system, whether it makes sense or not, and we're not looking for anything special or special use of this. Even if we had to, I mean, would it be an option to use the holding tank for the X amount of time of the construction? The house wouldn't be connected to it, the house wouldn't be operated.
Again,
And this might be a code enforcement. And if it's an X thing and that's just not an option, it's not an option. But we'll cross that bridge later, it's not for planning board.
Holding tanks aren't really allowed, are
See,
they?
this is one
Holding
of those
tanks,
times
if
when
the
you
town
find
has to approve holding tanks, a legit holding tank, not a septic tank.
Mhm.
The holding tank will have an alarm and all that on it, so.
And I apologize, this is John Wiesman, the soils engineer, that put the letter together. So if there's any questions.
to me is one of those times, it's a unique situation.
Yeah.
Let's try to work with the client.
that's why I say CEO. So that's up.
Okay, Christina, we're working with the
Yes, yeah.
applicant.
I'll work with the applicant.
Yeah, so I just have a question. I mean, with this application, I assume they'll have to do an updated HHE 200.
Yeah.
Comply this
Yes.
building to septic. So that can all be taken up with that septic design to the code officer is what I would recommend.
Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right. So the other issue, I think, I know that there was a text message between you and the state as far as discontinuing the driveway application.
There was some
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what we'd really like to see would be an actual letter from that.
You'll get one.
You will, okay.
I think you'll have to accept this. Because
Yeah.
if we don't, right, then if you do, it'll take a long time.
No, I know that. That was just gonna be a condition of approval.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
we do
absolutely send that email over and send it off to the town of Sebago.
Work with the applicant.
And as we get it, I'll.
No, that's what we're doing.
we can make
You're
it,
saying it's not
No,
gonna
no,
be
no, no.
approved unless we get the letter.
No,
make it a
no, no.
condition here that he
No.
does not access 114.
That's right. That's right.
Simple.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I had. Does anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Yep.
One of the conditions that septic system, because it was never inspected,
Yes.
be field inspected, and whether that's with coordination with Mr. Weissman or Christine, but I think it just needs to be a written motion made as a condition that be inspected prior to.
Has to be inspected by DHHS?
No, inspected by the town and the certified site evaluator.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
open the septic up, and I figured that was gonna be relative to code enforcement. We'll open up so the town can inspect it and do their final sign-offs on it.
Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion for that?
Well, I think you want to do it in one motion. Whoever makes the motion, make the motion with all the conditions, just don't make it one, because we have a few conditions.
Okay. Do you have a list of those conditions, Garrett?
That we just made?
Yes.
So there was the condition that there's no access from 114.
Yeah.
And there was just this one currently.
Yeah. Condition that the system be inspected and approved? Is that what you're saying, Jim? For the system to be opened, inspected, and approved
Correct, prior to occupancy.
prior to occupancy?
It probably would be required anyway.
Right. But just safeguards before to make.
Yeah. So,
And the thing about the floor, is that another one of those conditions?
No, that's already a condition.
Okay.
somebody,
So I'll make a motion that, let's see, how do I phrase this? That, in terms of Spear and the project, that there will be no access to 114. And that we will open and inspect and approve the septic system prior to a permit being issued.
okay.
Occupancy.
And occupancy.
Second? All in favor? Unanimous? All right, so now we will move on to, I guess we move on to our final decision. We have the voting matrix that, the matrix that we have to. Does everybody have the matrix?
You can read it.
The site plan review approval matrix.
You know,
All right, number one, buffers, screening, landscaping, and natural features.
I would say there needs to be some replanting where they took some big pine trees. That's between you and CEO.
Yeah. Except for that condition?
the driveway has
You took, I want 2 or 3 good trees.
There was, there were, taken down prior to mine, but I
It up.
maybe come down.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying that's what
So
happened.
in the driveway, the old driveway, that one.
Two driveways?
It could be,
No.
No,
just one.
This one.
Yeah, yeah. It's the driver that was out front. Yeah. Okay, number two, burden on municipal services,
Not applicable.
not applicable, okay. Congestion, unsafe conditions. Not
Not applicable.
I don't think if the material effects what goes on there.
groundwater protection, number four.
If the septic system meets code, I think that
Should be all right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
should be okay.
And the well's an adequate distance away from that, yeah.
Yep. Hazards and nuisances. Not applicable.
I don't think it's applicable.
Impact on neighboring properties.
you know, the benefit.
Well, it's
Yeah.
3 lots into one at this point in
Yeah.
time, so. Actually better.
Off-street parking and loading,
Not applicable.
not
Shouldn't
applicable.
be a problem. Yeah.
Open spaces, parts A, B, and C, not applicable. Outdoor storage, outdoor displays and storage, not applicable.
There, the outbuildings. What's happening in the outbuildings?
they're coming down.
They are coming down.
Proper operation of proposed use.
They better live in it.
Not applicable. Public health, safety, and welfare. There you go. This is the big one.
Well, we had some concerns about contamination and those kinds of things.
Building of questionable quality for one, hopefully with the modern code.
We're gonna vote yes on that.
Yeah.
Scenic areas, natural beauty, not applicable.
Yeah, look at that nice.
Shoreland vegetation and visual access, not applicable.
It wants the space back, so.
Soils, yes, meets the condition, doesn't it?
Yes.
Special features, not applicable. Traffic's fine, yes. Utilities, part A and B. Just, waste disposal. Adequate waste disposal?
I'd say yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants trash.
Is there any other? Not that I can think of.
No.
Not applicable. And the fees have been paid. Right. Would somebody like to make a motion as far as the budget?
Motion, board accept this project. Approved.
Second it.
Do we have any conditions?
You have the conditions that you outlined, subject to the conditions, whatever,
Right.
any amendments to that motion.
Okay, subject to the condition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no access going to the.
All right. Yep. Tina seconds. All in favor? Unanimous. Congratulations, you're in business.
Thank you.
You've done good.
That was a big job.
Okay, now we'll. You good to go for the next one? Anybody need a break or anything? All good? Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the Behen application.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm confused. You know the packet that we got from the code enforcement and everything? The things that weren't there, was that put together prior to getting this?
Which one?
The-
So there were two packets,
Yeah.
Mr. Behan submitted two packets to you, one for each meeting that he's been on.
Yeah.
And I've submitted two packets, one for each meeting.
Yeah, mine was response to the first full application.
So the ones that you got from me were on March 10th as well.
Right here.
Between that and the other packet, there's probably, my comments are in regards to that and what was in the other packet.
Oh, I had another. Just 1 minute, yeah. Get situated here. Okay. So you're good with that, yeah? You're
Yes,
good with that?
yeah,
Okay.
I just need clarification from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll move on to the Behen application. Map 010, lot 022-D, application submitted by Sean Behan regarding a proposed boat launch on Southeast Pond. Would the presenter please stand, give your full name, and state your affiliation to the application? And please remain standing while the board asks questions and Yeah. 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 Okay, thank you. So, let's see, Tom.
I'll make his presentation.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go ahead and make the presentation if you'd like.
So we were, sorry, Mr. Smollett's not with us this evening.
Okay.
We were here in January meeting, to discuss, the information in front of you. You folks came out and had a set walk on 28th January, regarding announcements. In between then and now, there were a couple of questions submitted by the planner for which they were, answered, not in that order, and sent back in. There were a couple other ones we again responded to that. Not sure if there's any other questions, comments, concerns. That is needed from the board.
I have questions, but I'll hold my questions till the end. Does anybody else have questions?
Let's do the presentation first. Then.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and give your presentation.
My presentation is just a follow-up between the last meeting and this meeting before consideration of acceptance. I do have some photographs. You weren't with us on the 28th. Would you like to have a quick look? You don't mind. Where the vote.
This is what I recommended the planning board by a drone.
Yes, ma'am.
I really think there was too many views because I'm not able to watch that one.
That's not, and the snow. Again, the comments or questions from the board is around how the runoff will be handled in terms of the program, and so how would we slow down the water, infiltrate it back into the duct, so it would return cold and clean back into the resource. Mentioned one there is a page 45 in one of the documents around illustration. You'll note that there is a small run pit, if you will, along the right side of the plan. We have initiated 2 turnouts in your shoreline zone. We are allowed to do that within 45 feet. And then we added one, so let me just say this, the ramp is 85 feet long. You asked last time if we would, at the top of it, create a space to stop, clean off the boat before and after it has been in the water. Okay? So we made that change. So that's about 25 feet of length out of the 85 feet. If you think about it again, the next 30 feet, we have a turnout. And the 30 feet kind of goes to where we have the cement pavers beginning for the ramp. And so we have a turnout that will go under in a, I don't know if you're familiar, but I refer to it as a rock sandwich. It could be a rock burrito, cannoli, whatever your favorite dish is. And so we would use that to return any runoff into the dock so that it will slow down the velocity, it doesn't create any cuts, and it will end in a small dry well to definitely slow it down and then allow it to slowly break back. We have another one just a little bit closer down into where the cement pads are for the ramp, going back and cutting at about 30, 35 degrees. The water, we'd like the water to come off in a sheet, right? And we have a small pitch to it, right? So an indoor plumbing pitch is a 1/4 inch per foot. Generally accepted a 1 inch on a 10-foot plane. Our whole ramp is 12 feet wide. So if you think about an 1.5 inch pitch into that area, we will then be able to slowly move that water away. If you look at a French drain, which is like a 4-inch pipe, that has 255 gallons per second capacity. A 6-inch one has 550 on. So by using this type of manner, it slows down that rate, so it doesn't cut.
That's what impressed me.
Sorry?
That's what impressed me. It was
Yeah,
slowing
it'll
down.
slow the water down, and the other bit is, if you use a conduit, a piece of pipe, you have to make sure it's always correctly pitched properly. Otherwise, it won't work. And the information I sent back, in terms of the rock sandwich, that's okay, because of the way that the material's in it, it will allow it to slow it down, it'll allow it to keep moving. And if it's at the bottom of the rock sandwich, it doesn't have that much impact on the ability for the rock sandwich to work, nor does it, what we're doing is really returning water movement to where nature has it. Right, it occupies space, and so we're creating space, and so that the water will run, and then not deter or create issues down the road. One of the other questions was around, we talked to the fire chief, his name was Chief Strike. Nice to see you again. And the communications between Mr. Skolnick and the fire chief, we talked about having a dry hydrant, which again was another question. In the comments from the planner, we have it located about a third of the way up. Your instructions was 30 feet above where the filtration comes in, where the water comes in.
No more than.
Yes, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. And where it's at the top of the hill, right? Type of thing, that's a little problematic, according to the fire chief. And so we have it closer to the water line. But again, and on the left or right side, we'll put it wherever, because I personally think it's a very important piece of the puzzle for any on the Hogback Road as an entirety. So that's that. The second question was around a service drop.
So can we move off of that one? I guess I would probably think you'd want that fire plug, I'll call it a fire plug, on the uphill side of the ramp. What do you call it? The higher side.
The higher side.
Yeah, so we're not flushing the water over toward that.
And our response to the planner's question, we put it about a third of the way up on the right side, or the left side looking down, right side. Right. Yes.
So talking about the side angle of the ramp.
Yes.
The side of the
Yes,
side.
correct.
So the location on the plan has changed? This plan that we have?
My question was, and maybe this goes to the fire chief, to fill a tanker, you have to back the tanker down the ramp to fill it in this case?
No, you have an engine at that height. Then the engine pumps the water to the tanker to fill it.
Hose connection.
It's a 12-foot hose that goes off the side of the truck to the hydrant. Then we take a 50-foot
Still,
LD
you
gauge.
gotta back the engine back down to that ramp, that's all I'm saying, that's like a 16% grade on that ramp, that's all I'm saying. To me, it just made more sense to take that height to the top of the
The
ramp.
problem is, the further you get away, the higher the lift, the less it's gonna, we can't draft any. 22 feet is max, and that's maximum because your elevation, you're trying to suck all that air out of the hydrant, and that's that heavy when it comes to math, and 22 feet is max, and it's gonna take a lot more for that truck to work to get that water going. By bringing it down some, you drop that elevation down, so the truck's gonna work less to get water out of the hydrant.
So if I only can draw at a faster rate if it's lower.
Correct, we're draw the head height to the water is less, so it's quicker and we can do a lot more.
So again, it's only 12 feet wide on planks, so we're gonna have to back it down on.
we're gonna nose in most likely.
then you go back up to 16%. You're not gonna do that in the wintertime.
Right.
No, my only concern is that, again, it's just it's the approach of the trucks and who's doing it. And to me, I think by looking at their data, the highest height from mean elevation, the mean water elevation is 12 feet. So I don't know if that's right or wrong. I didn't know. So, I mean, I think we're in the 20%. I'm just trying to make it as safe as we, that's all.
The chief would know what his interest in Chief.
I mean, it's, if it can be closer to the top, great, if, I'm just looking at the height elevation.
Right. I just think the further up you get, the more accessibility it has.
Really, the first 20 odd feet is almost level, right, before we start to incline, relatively speaking, only because you changed, or you asked us to make it more flatter.
No, on this plan here, I mean, there's 85 feet, it's 15% slope.
Right.
All I'm saying is try to get it outside the 85 feet so that they don't have to back down.
Sure.
That's all.
I totally agree. And as I mentioned, and as the gentleman would like to have it, he's willing to have it.
And maybe the way we do this just becomes a site.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I think it might be just a site condition, so you can see what you're up against in spacing.
I wasn't able to attend the walk, so, I mean, as long as we have one down in there. That's the bigger thing.
It's just, I've dealt with fire departments before, and I know you guys don't like real steep slopes sometimes with equipment, so that's all I was trying to say.
So just to clarify, the concrete planks will be pitched approximately, be like a 10-inch pitch from the, what would that be, the northerly side to the southerly side of the ramp to the ditch?
So it's 1 inch, or 1.5 inch per 10 feet.
Or 1.5 inch per 10 feet? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so, and the planks are 12 feet wide?
Yep.
Right, so.
Yep, so it's about a 1-inch pitch, yep,
Yes.
okay. And that's not, yeah, that was my question, because it didn't make any sense to me why there was a ditch on only one side, it's like.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you're gonna drain, so what stops, what's the buffer between the mulch and that ramp on that side that doesn't have a ditch? How are you gonna prevent the mulch from washing down onto the ramp itself?
So you know, the map